Sorry, I hit the wrong key there and I cut out on the video. So I'm making the second video here just to label this diagram for you. So let's place these labels on this diagram. So these labels will help you through the processes of muscle contraction. So the first label refers to your axon. So this is your axon here. The second label refers to these vesicles that can contain acetylcholine. And that serves as a neurotransmitter, so it serves as a signal from the axon, which comes from your neuron in your spinal cord. It serves as a kind of a signaling neurotransmitter or signaling molecule from your axon or your neuron to your muscle fiber. So the next label here are your acetylcholine receptors on your muscle fiber membrane. So these are acetylcholine receptors. Now recall from the review I asked you about the muscle fiber membrane. This refers to the term for the muscle fiber membrane is your sarcolemma. And what happens during muscle contraction is you have an action potential that comes down the axon. You get these acetylcholine vesicles. The acetylcholine gets released, binds to your acetylcholine receptors. You have an action potential that goes down this invagination in the muscle fiber membrane called the T-tubule. So this is your T-tubule or transverse tubule. A couple of other labels that I've left off of here are this label here refers to your motor end plate. That's the portion of the sarcolemma that's associated with the axon. So you see this part of the sarcolemma is not associated with the axon. This is not the motor end plate. This part is called the motor end plate. So that's what I'm going to put on this label here, the motor end plate. It's the part of the sarcolemma that's associated with the axon. And this label here refers to your synaptic cleft. So that's kind of the space between the axon and the sarcolemma or the motor end plate. The other labels we have here are that you have this label here for the sarcoplasmic reticulum. This is an organelle in your muscle fiber that contains calcium. So that's your sarcoplasmic reticulum. What happens during muscle contraction is you have an action potential coming down the axon. That stimulates release of acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft, binds with the acetylcholine receptors, causes an action potential or an electrical signal to go down the transverse tubule. That's picked up by the sarcoplasmic reticulum. You get release of calcium. Calcium binds to your troponin, so this should be troponin. And then you have tropomyosin. This usually blocks myosin from forming cross bridges with actin. If you have calcium that binds to troponin, it lifts the tropomyosin off of actin, releases that inhibition from actin, and allows the myosin to form cross bridges with actin. So the final labels here would be actin, and then you have myosin. So that's pretty much it for your first asynchronous lecture. I will see you live on Monday.